Welcome, everybody. On this episode of the podcast, we have 𝗦𝗂𝗰𝗲 Navarro, the owner of downtown Leche and downtown LA. Leche is a prolific hairstylist, barber, and entrepreneur. Leche is a global educator for Hattori Hanzo shears, and he's associated with Strand the brand. Whether he's making his clients feel like $1 million in his high-rise, high-end salon in downtown LA, or he's traveling the country teaching haircutting classes, Leche wants to inspire and motivate you to be successful. Learn more about his story now on Salon Success Academy, the podcast.
Hey, so what's up? This is the Salon Success Podcast. I'm 𝗦𝗂𝗰𝗋𝗀𝗀.
And I'm Jeff Gross.
At Salon Success, you can get a great haircut.
Let's do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know what we're yelling about!
Well, hello, Salon Success.
The girls at Beauty Academy are so mean.
She doesn't even go here.
Welcome to Salon Success Academy.
You can't sit with us.
Salon Success.
Hello, Salon Success.
Help you with your career, just a little.
Salon Success.
All right, that's our cue. This is the Salon Success Podcast. I'm 𝗦𝗂𝗰𝗋𝗀𝗀𝗀. We have
Brandy Edwards Hamilton.
And that was a sick introduction, man. That was amazing. I was like vibing out. This is Leche. Nice to see everybody.
the one and only Mr. Leche. All right, so you just did a demo here at our Upland campus.
Yep.
I think it went well. What did you do?
I try to entertain the kids. No, I'm just kidding. No, I did a demo, a shear demo, trying to show different techniques and different ways to get the same result. I'm sure they do it their way, and just trying to show them that there's many ways to get to the same place.
All right, yeah.
I appreciate it.
They do. It was a lot of fun. You can see it on their faces. They're definitely taking in what you had to give.
I hope so.
So this was your third demo you've done at Salon Success, right?
Correct. Uh-huh.
You did one here in 2019 and then one at the 𝗏𝗀𝗃 campus.
Correct.
Really the same year. Mm-hmm. So, definitely glad to have you on the schedule and glad to have you coming in visiting our campuses more often.
It's always good to be around your energy, Joe. Thank you. And now I know you guys too.
Yes.
You guys all have amazing energy. So
Backed by popular demand.
I don't know if that's true. Backed by Joe's demand.
So give us a little background. Who are you?
So started in 19. No, I'm just kidding. My name's
The olden
Thomas.
days.
Yeah. My name's Thomas Navarro, but I do go by Leche. Leche is a nickname that I got back in the heyday, and it's stuck throughout my whole life. And now that I'm doing this in this industry, doing this career, it's now my business. So it's now my brand. It's everything. It's funny how I feel like I'm no longer Leche. Now the brand is Leche, and I'm just the person behind the scenes. So, but yeah, I mean, I've been doing hair for 7 years. I have a salon in downtown LA. It's on the 10th floor of a building. It's a 7-station salon, and we've been there for 4 years. I have Eric Garcia hair here with me, my road dog. You clap it up. What are you gonna do? I see you doing something. Oh no, I thought you were gonna have like a little.
I was just checking the levels.
There it is.
I didn't want to guess and push a random one. You got some pretty funny ones in here.
You're gonna whomp them. Yeah, but it's been a blessing. It's I fell into this industry. I don't think it was ever my passion, or I don't have the normal story where I was like, oh, I cut in the backyard or high school or the football team or basketball team. Nothing. I really picked this up 7 years ago, and I was really drawn to the idea of it, of being around so many people. You know, I think I'm a people person more than a hair person, and this gave me the avenue to connect to a lot of people, and here we are. And I'm fortunate to say I travel the world to educate and connect with others. So
That's amazing.
it's a beautiful thing.
What are some of the best places or most memorable places that this career's taken you?
To Salon Success, to do a podcast with you guys here.
Epic,
for sure. Epic. Yeah. It's not every day, you have to appreciate everywhere you are, because just you guys trying to take the time to have this conversation means a lot to me, and I hope it can resonate with everybody else. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, the places may change, but the people are the same, if that kind of makes sense, because there's always going to be somebody who's hungry for more information. There's always going to be somebody that knows everything. There's always going to be somebody who's really had a bad upbringing and somebody who had a great upbringing. So it's just being able to manage through those type of energies and people and connect with them and try to just show them a different mindset and see how they can fully accomplish what they want to accomplish. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's great to hear. What what's your favorite part about being in this industry?
Let's see. For sure, what I just said, like connecting with others.
Yes.
Yeah. But the traveling is really nice. Like it's so funny because when I used to do the corporate world, I made enough money to travel, but I felt like I never wanted to take the time to travel. Excuse me. Never want to take the time to travel. And now, like, the irony is that I'm getting paid to travel and see all these different places and experience the world. And it's like nothing short but a blessing, you know. Like it's a beautiful thing to be able to do what you love, which is connecting to others and getting paid for it, you know.
Absolutely.
That's the bonus.
Yeah.
When you were starting your education, what was your goal, or what did you think you were going to be doing when you got into the industry, when you were starting your education?
Well, my first and foremost intention was to make sure that when my mom retired, I told the story in the class that my mom was 60. She wanted to retire by 65, but she's owned a mom and pop salon for over 25 years, 26 years. And she wanted to retire already.
Right.
But to me, like, for her to run a business for that long, like, I would hate for her legacy to retire with her.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I was going to keep my corporate job because obviously it came with a comfortable check, all the plus that comes with the insurance, all that stuff, you know? So the benefits. And then, and I was really great at what I did, you know? So I had all that going for me. So I just wanted to manage her salon. But in order to do anything, you have to know about it. You know, I need to know the business to run the business. So I went to school strictly for that. I'm going to get my license. I'm going to have a better understanding. I could talk to the employees, you know, thinking that there were employees back then. You know, I'm going to have an employee. I'll tell them what to do. And my mindset back then, imagine this. If for whatever reason the stylist doesn't show up, I can do the hair for the stylist. That is so naive of me to think. The client's gonna be like, "Nah, I'm good." Yeah,
It's a logical thought process.
Yeah. I'll take over. Don't worry, she didn't come in today. Like, no. But yeah, I mean, 9 months into cutting hair, I just saw the rapid growth of me cutting hair. I did get drawn in school to short hair, men's hair. So I got drawn into that, and then in the short period of time, I just saw everything kind of growing. I just saw instant money, and I was like, wait a minute, like this could be, if my mom could do it, I could definitely do it. Coming with the experience that I have at advantage compared to her. So I saw a video. I always plug this, a Steve Harvey video called Jump. If you put YouTube Steve Harvey Jump, I saw that video, and it was just taking the leap of faith in your abilities and your capabilities of doing something instead of just waiting at the edge of a cliff. So I did that. I put my 2 weeks in notice. I quit my job and I did this. I went, you know, head first into this career, and like I said, with 7 years in, and it's been nothing but a blessing, you know.
Fruitful.
So, very fruitful, yes.
Yeah, no looking back.
Definitely. I mean, look back to enjoy the process, but not to weigh you down, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, your title, are you a cosmetologist? Are you a barber?
I'm not a big fan of titles.
I thought your response was going to be something like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big title. You could call me a Cosmo, a barber. People assume I'm a barber because of the way I look. I specialize in short hair.
Right.
So even though I do long hair, I do, you know, color and everything, but I specialize in short hair, and it doesn't really matter. I'd rather be known if I'm put a title as a businessman than anything else. Yeah.
All right, an entrepreneur.
And ultimately, that's the circumstance of the license. Barbers and Cosmos both do learn the same amount of hair, 1,100 hours in California. The same amount of hair, color, all of that's the same for barbers and for Cosmos. So you kind of just specialize in what you are connected to and what you feel good doing.
Correct. Yes. I mean, I love doing long hair. I love seeing the transformation of it.
Yes.
But always halfway through the process, I'm like, why did I agree to this? Like, it's such a long process, you know?
Yes. I personally feel more creative with short hair.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm sculpting. I see things in real time. I'm connected to the art in the moment. Right. I feel like with long hair, you have to wait till the end for the connection. So I'm not flowing quite the same way.
It's just a little bit more time consuming.
Yes.
When did you start becoming an educator?
Man, all right. So I would like to think my previous life, I've always had to train people. I always had employees under me. So that already kind of helped me. But it all started, I went to a show. I already had a pair of Hanzos. I was at a show, And the sales rep there and the educator there, they were like just bombarded with a lot of people around their table. And I had just gotten my double swivel. So I was like, you know what? Like, hey, do you mind if I grab a double swivel? They're like, yeah, go ahead. Obviously, they knew who I was. I mean, not like, oh, they know who I am. Obviously, I meant like we had a rapport. They know who I was. I wasn't a stranger. I wasn't going to strangers. But I'm like, I grabbed the comb. I grabbed the swivels. I grabbed a mannequin that they had there that they weren't using. And I just pulled people to the side to give them more breathing space.
Right.
I was actually sharing a booth with them for a nonprofit at the Humble Project. So our side, obviously, it's a barber show, hair show. The nonprofit was getting no traction, you know?
Right.
So it was a twofer, you know? Let me bring people to this side in front of this booth. I'm going to let them have some breathing space. So then I just started showing people how to use the double swivel. And the sales rep's like, how come you don't educate for us? I'm like, well, nobody's ever asked, you know? So they had me do a 30-minute video of me doing a haircut and presenting it. I did it, and that's how I got into it. But that's what led me to going back and learning the fundamentals.
Yes.
Because remember, I went to school just to get my license.
Right.
So I was just like, what do I need to do? Repetition, blah, 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 get it done. And then once I was like, okay, I'm going to teach and I'm going to get paid to teach. All right, I need to go back, learn everything and do it right, you know? So that put me on the path of education, yeah.
What do you like about teaching?
I think I did one event, and then it was very early in my career. I called it the A and B tour. It's the artist meets business. I think what I love to teach is that not a lot of people know the business side. They know the art side, and a lot of people are very artists. And there's a saying, there's a starving artist, right? There's a starving artist because they're so passionate about what they do that they're willing to do it for free. But if you're really good at what you do, then you should be getting paid for what you do, you know? So how do I like educating the business side and opening their mind to understanding like, hey, there's more to this, and you're very valuable. Like there's only one of you. There's a lot of people that do hair, but there is only one of you. Yes. So what do you bring to the table, and then how can you monetize what you bring to the table, you know? But
that was one of the best things I've seen in your demos, is that you don't just focus on the skill or the technique. You focus
Correct.
on, the character.
Right.
Who's behind the chair, and really instilling some great information, some great advice to our students on how they can make their client's experience better.
Correct.
And how they can make themselves better as an individual. And one thing, too, is you also said don't compete against anybody else.
Correct.
Right there, I know exactly what you're going for. Compete against yourself.
Correct.
Every day. Make yourself better.
All right. And even in motivation, I just had a conversation with a student outside, and he looked up to a certain artist, you know? And I said, well, when are you going to look up to yourself?
Right.
Like, you don't even know that artist. You don't even know that person. Oh, but he inspires me. How are you going to inspire yourself? How do you become that guy for you in your head?
Yes.
Because we suffer more in the imagination than in reality. Our mind really blocks us from a lot of things. Once we learn to control our mind, then we can accomplish anything. Like the doors just open wide up. But we always like to stretch for external things to satisfy our comforts. It's just living in the uncomfortable, growing that progress, growing that uncomfort, and then you start seeing like, man, you grow as an individual, you grow as a business, you grow as your energy, your circle, everything grows. So
absolutely.
Yeah. You have anything, Brian?
You said when you were in school, you were there just to get your license.
Yep.
What does that mean?
That means my intent was to complete the hours and take the test and pass it. So it wasn't to learn a technique. It wasn't to, be the best artist, be the best cosmetologist or barber that I was. It wasn't until that 7 months in, like something pinched me on the side. Hey, I kind of like this fading stuff, Right. Then I started looking into it. And while I was in school, I started going to external education, continued education.
Right.
So I was going to the school, and then I would go after, a class at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., go to there and start learning more, hanging around, networking. And then that's when I got the bug. I want to say it was like strictly there, but at 7 months, like the remaining 3 months, I was really putting that intent to learning the skill set.
Well, I know that having gone to beauty school as well, I think when we were in school, everybody has a reason they started, whatever that is. If it's to learn color, to learn cut, to take over their mom's business, whatever the circumstance, I think when we go in, we have sometimes a narrow focus on what we're expecting to learn and get out of it. And then we're either still in school or not until you graduate sometimes that you have your aha moment of, oh, this is my purpose, or this is why I did this, or, oh, maybe I'm pretty good at this.
Correct.
And I can elaborate and do more and learn more in those.
And it is that you fall into the specialty because you're good at the specialty.
Right.
It's not so much because you really love it. It's just you found success.
Right.
So then you're just going to keep feeding that success. But yeah, I went into like, oh, I'm going to have my mom's shop. We're going to do everything. Nails, everything we teach, we're going to do.
Right.
And somebody that was already licensed, they're like, no, you're going to specialize in something. No. I'm not leaving any money on the table. 7 months in, I specialize in something. You know? So shout out to her.
She was giving you her words of wisdom.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Her experience, you know, she's been through it. So
Jack of all trades.
right, master of one or jack of all trades. But no, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely not doing nails. You know what?
I'm just picturing you in beauty school.
Oh my god. Yeah, you should see. I mean, I didn't look like this, so. But I can only imagine. Big, I got you, you know. But even then, like even that. This is why I tell the students, you know, like your intent to be great, your habit to be great has to start in school, because even when it was, you know, we had a stage as freshman, junior, senior in the school that I went to. So I was a freshman. They were bombarded on the floor. We're not supposed to be on the floor.
Right.
But we had just gone over the pedicure segment. So they're like, oh, we need somebody to help. I was like, I'll go.
Right.
And mind you, like, I always like to tell a story. It was like 49-1. It was like 49 female students, and I was the only male, right? So here comes this, you know, I was thinner back then, but here comes this big guy coming out, and I knew the basics of pedicures, you know? But what I do know what to do is give a great massage.
Right.
So all I focus on is have a conversation piece and give a great massage, and they're gonna love the service. That was my mindset, you know? And that lady, like, cause nobody wanted to help her because she's very direct. Very direct.
Standard beauty school client.
Right. Very direct. Was on her Kindle. Didn't want to be bothered, and she was just ready to read. But I kept just asking her questions. So she's like, "You're not gonna let me read, aren't you?" I'm like, "Not while you're in front of me. Like, let's have a conversation." And she's like, "Fine." And so we started having a conversation. I gave her a massage, and she said, "Your lack in skill is overcome by your customer service." And she gave me a tip.
Nice.
And I was like, "Thank you." You know, like backhanded slap. You know, thank you. But ever since that day, whether I serviced her or not, she would always give me a tip.
That's awesome.
So I always used to punish myself, because one thing Eric said in the class is like, I hated blow drying and washing hair. I just did not like it. So, but everybody in the class at school knew that I got tipped well.
Right.
So I would punish myself. All right, I'll tell anybody who wants to do the blow drying and styling, like, and wash, you guys get to keep my tip. But it's whoever shows up to where I am, you know?
Right.
So I'll do the handoff, I'll do everything, and they'll get the $20 tip. And they got lunch and they got everything, and that was my punishment, you know? But now I suffer. I'm like, yo, E, you got time to do this blow dry? Still 7 years later.
Please.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the habits start now, you know, like exactly that. Look at what I just said. 7 years later, I still have the habit of not liking to wash and blow dry.
Right. I was just talking to some students yesterday. One of my sayings I always say is practice makes permanent. And then whatever we're doing permanently is going to be our habit. So if that is, I don't want to do the blow dry, or I refuse to do the pedicure, that's not for me. We continue to do those habits over and over again. And then those practices, and then they become permanent habits for us that are really difficult to break. Or sometimes we put into practice really good habits, like your customer service. All right, from here on out, I know if I have great customer service, I'm going to get this tip, even if the service isn't the best service.
I mean, she got a great massage, I'm going to tell you that.
The polish might have been a little jagged, but the massage was on point.
Wait, you don't want color in your skin? Oh, my bad.
It's not supposed to look like hair bleeding.
Do you have any clients still from your time in beauty school?
My friends that would be my models, right? So actually anybody, for the most part, let me retract that, but I have a lot of clients that were either from my school or even from my mom's shop that today I don't charge. Like I always say, like, my prices are for my clients, not for my family. You were there for my learning curve. So you were there for the work, you'll be here for the praise or the party or whatever it is, you know? So
awesome.
Yeah. So I do have some from school that were just my friends, and I'll egg them. Come on, like, bro. And I love it because they're like, do you know how to do it? I'm like, come on, bro. What do you think I'm in school for, you know? So they get here and I'm like, Miss, can you show me how to do this? He's like, bro, I thought you knew how. 3-hour haircuts back then.
That's the fun of it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool, though. Sometimes, too, when you're able to do like with your family that are not your clients or your friends that are willing to they grew with you and allowed you to mess up on them. They also allow you to be the most creative sometimes, like let you really be in your art and flow and do whatever you want. And you're in that zone.
Family.
No.
No, my sister does. My sister, she's the one. I just did peekaboos on her. She allows me to get a bit creative, but no, it's mainly your friends. And always like Eric was one of them. He allowed me to do whatever I wanted. And
Thank you, Eric.
yeah, he found another one called Donovan. I see how I got replaced. Donovan's another artist at my shop. But yeah, it's usually friends and people that want to try something crazy. I love the ones that like, they're just so used to a certain, like, I don't know, cookie cutter or barbershop haircut, this and that. And I introduce them to color. And I'll do just like a little design in the back, color that, and then they're like, I want more. Like, they're like, no, let's do the whole head, and let's do this, and let's do. I'm like,
chemically dependent.
I got him. Little drug dealer here.
So, when did you decide to, open up your own salon?
So obviously the goal was to run a business, right? And I was running a business that wasn't my business, but I was still running a business, and I would hate, like, I didn't want to be an employee, So the first objective was to open up a speakeasy. I wanted to have a speakeasy where it didn't look like a shop. There's no sign outside. Like, if you knew, you knew, and that's it. And then I just realized how much that was going to cost. And I'm like, that's not going to work, And then so then I did the next best thing, which was find a commercial building that's a live work loft. And create the business there, So I also live there as well, and I work there as well. And
that's awesome.
It's just
short
all in one, very short commute, and I'm late. So
you've been working at home since before COVID.
Correct, dude. It was such a unforeseen. Obviously, nobody saw what was coming, but my shop, my business model, everything that I had to put into place was or is what the new regulations are.
Right.
My stations were already 6. My mirrors are 7x4.
Right.
Like 7 feet.
You can't be
4
next
feet
to me.
wide. You can't. They're already. It was already appointment only. There's no waiting. We don't want people lounging around in that area. It's just already too compact, and we want to focus on the individual that's in your chair. So we attempt not to do 2 at a time.
Right.
If you're doing one process, you're focusing on that person. So, I mean, nothing really changed besides wearing a mask, and like checking temps and hand sanitizers. But I mean, besides the checking and the mask, you're supposed to have hand sanitizer.
We're doing all that.
You're supposed to wash your hands. You're supposed to be hygiene. Like some of these regulations come out. I'm like, wait, this is new news for people.
Right. You're already supposed to clean that hair out of the way.
Cover up when you cough.
Right.
Clean the chair after you're done. People are not cleaning chairs. Like
I learned this in beauty school a long time ago.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we were fortunate not to take too much of a hit.
That's awesome.
Did you take any opportunities to expand your role as an educator during COVID?
Oh, I expanded everything. It was I'm real big on, how can I say, not opportunistic, but if the world is gonna stop, that means I'm gonna go harder.
Right.
Because while everybody is comfortable, if everybody agrees to stop, then I'm gonna be that much more ahead.
Right.
Right. So as everybody took breaks and everybody did what was told to them, like I was saying this during 2020, rules are meant to be blank. Whatever word you put in has consequences. Rules are meant to be followed. You might lose your business.
Right.
You're gonna get behind on bills. You're gonna do everything that's gonna happen. Rules are meant to be bent. Okay, you might get fined. Rules are meant to be broken. Well, you might lose it all.
Right.
Right. And do jail time and fines and everything, So, I mean, whatever you decide, whatever word you put in there, it's going to have its consequences. You just have to know when to plug and play which word, And yeah, I still toured. I still traveled. California was locked down. The United States wasn't.
Right.
Like all the other states were open and everything. I'm like, all right, so if the business is not here, then I'm going to the business. And that's what I did. I traveled. I still educated. We still did the tour. I was moving.
Plant seeds wherever you can.
I was going to say the hungry will eat.
The hungry will eat. Yeah. I was not going to look back at 2020 and said I did nothing.
Right.
No, I made my,
advantageous moves.
Mm-hmm.
So, which brands, do you have a partnership with?
So I have, I'm partnered up, well, Hattori Hanzo brought me out here today. I'm also with 𝗦𝗂𝗰𝗲𝗀𝘀, the online booking. Classic Barber Products. Barber Supply 562. Illusion. And partnering up with Elevation H as well. So Elevation H is an educational program where we're going to bring my learn process into it and start selling these having this information available where if I can't be here, at least the information will be here. Absolutely. It'll be accessible to anybody, anywhere. You have a booklet, you have a worksheet. You pretty much have what I did today accessible 24/7. And you learn as as your appetite pleases you. If you want to learn right now, then you're going to learn more, and then you just keep going. But yeah, I think I'm very, very interested in that. The learn process is abbreviated. It's pretty much Leche's earn process.
Okay.
So how to earn more money, followers, respect, popularity. Followers, as in like human followers, not like Instagram followers. Like how to be a leader. Like what do you want to earn more? Earn anything in life more. So
definitely. Do you have any last words or last piece of advice that you would give to students, young professionals, anybody that's at this point in their career starting, that's ready to eat? Yeah,
everybody's like, everybody that's ready to eat. Yes, not everybody's always ready to eat, but one thing I said in the class is to be present or to show up. There's different words for it. To be here, be now, is to live life with intent. So sometimes even if we lived like I was 31, 32 when I did the career change. So I could have said, even though I was intentful in my working for another person, I didn't have intent in my life. So it's two different things. I had intent I have intent when I come to school, but do you have your purpose for life? And once you find your purpose for life, you'll see how you dominate everything else. Like be here, no matter what. I kept preaching, time is going to pass. With you or without you, time is going to pass. What are you going to do with the time that you have? So be impactful. One thing I love to say is like, I like to say I'm a full-time energy and a part-time body. That's it. But my energy will go way beyond my body will. So just remember that you are the same. You are that full-time energy and be that light for others. And that's it.
All right. I was excited to have you here today. This is our first podcast we've done in a while, and excited to just see you, give a demo and share some of your energy, some of your wisdom with our students.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Joe, for having me.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. It was fun.
Let me get the little outro song going.
I hope this voice still goes over. My outro and intro are whack compared to this. I'm going to hire Joe to make my...
You got my number. All right. Thanks, Leche. Salon success.
Salon success.